Language.
Okay. Language. I will control my language.
What's up, guys? Hey, welcome. So, today's topic is child labor. Do you guys know why you put your kids in school? Do you think it's because you have to work a job, pay your bills, get a house, and so the people that are most important to you, your own children, the kids you love, the kids you raise, the kids you spend money on, the kids that you birthed, created, God gave you the blessing to bring into this earth, those kids, you send them off to school when they're a little kid. At the age of very, very young, of like what, 5, 6 years old, whenever it is. You go to
Start when you're
school
5.
5 days a week, pretty much like all day long. You're stuck in a classroom. They're telling you what to do. You can't do whatever you want to do. You're stuck. You can't do anything. And then for years, you're like, well, I don't like this. Why am I stuck here? I'm not smart. I don't even want to be here. Why do I have to be here? Well, I don't want to be in all these special ed classes. You kids think I'm stupid. And then it's like, fuck, get to school, and then bam, middle school, what the fuck? High school, what the fuck? No point. Don't
Well, I
learn
do
shit.
know that, like I said, the Department of Education was created to keep kids stupid and complacent. I can't remember who quoted it, who said it, but it said somebody asked, like, what do we teach them once it was created? And the response was, teach them everything, but teach them nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, I tell people, I actually learned more. I felt like my brain actually grew once I got out of school. Once I got in the real world, my brain started to
Now
develop.
imagine you are 6, 7 years old, not stuck in school. Your parents love you. They teach you. They raise you. They're good, loving family, and they are raising you. Your mother is staying at the house, not being a slut. All right. Okay, so your mother is actually being a loving mother, taking care of you, raising the children like she's supposed to, and she is giving you the mothering love. The father comes home, beats the father.
The whole slut thing, though, that's why they all say the wife slept with the milkman or she jumped the fence. Dude, they were still whoring around if they thought they could get away with it. But back then, it was shamed on. If you got caught, even men, if you got caught sleeping around on your spouse, it was shamed and frowned upon hard. It never left. Now it's like normal. Nobody cares. Mm-hmm. You had strict moral code back then.
Yep. Okay, now back to the point of school. So we give our kids to school, Maverick. What's happening when we give our kids to school?
Dude, they're trying to teach them to be slaves.
The teachers put in their political opinions, their own religious opinions. They tell you can't talk about God in school. When I pledge allegiance to God.
All right, so
remember that? I pledge allegiance to God. All right.
No, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. No, the whole Pledge of Allegiance, like, get this. Even in the Pledge of Allegiance, it says, for the republic for which it stands. I can't stand it when I hear people say we're a democracy. We're not a democracy. We're a republic.
Yes. It's a free nation. We are free to do whatever. It's a free market. It's a free nation.
I'm actually surprised they still got the Pledge of Allegiance in school, to be honest with you, like, because they're trying to take.
I pledge allegiance to the flag for which it stands.
Yeah, dude, you already picked it up. Oh.
Bro, I am just. For reasons I'm not going to say right now.
Did they still do it? Did they still do it when you were in school?
Yeah.
Okay. They didn't. They still did it.
They still do now.
That's why I'm surprised. But my daughter has come home and told me that one of her teachers, sometimes there's a pride flag that hangs above the American flag. Okay.
They're all throughout school. It's crazy.
There's no flag is supposed to be higher than the American flag. When you have a flag raised, it doesn't matter what it is, higher than the American flag, that's disrespect towards the country.
Yeah, no, it is. Especially when you're lowering a flag, like something bad's happened.
What the hell happened to public schools? You got all these crazy left liberal nut jobs teaching your kids. That's the other thing. They're teaching agendas. They're not even sticking to the curriculum.
No, they're not.
They're going off and talking about anti-American crap, like training the next generation of people to hate their own country.
You should see the people they hire. I'm asked to be sick. Fat art ladies. Face tattoo, no joke. Face tattoos.
Oh, you told me that.
Face piercings, like liberal. You can't talk Donald Trump, you can't talk. God, you can't talk. That stuff, if you do, people in school, teachers in school, they're going to be like, no, you can't talk that. Oh, if you're depressed, you're on medications. What pills are you on? Oh, I'm on this, I'm on that. Oh, I'm gay, I'm trans, I'm this, I'm that. And if I ask my friend, Gwen, you're gay? Oh, Nathaniel, to the office. Oh, Nathaniel, this is a reoccurring issue with you. This is really bad. We want you to graduate. We're at the end of the year here, but you keep getting in trouble for the same exact stuff. What do you want me to do? It's freedom of speech. He tells me, you got to watch what you say inside and outside of school.
What did you
What?
say? Listen, what did you say that got you kicked off the bus?
I said, hey, Philip, are you gay? And he didn't respond to me. So I said, hey, Philip, can you hear me? So you're not responding. Are you gay? Philip, are you gay? And then I guess that day we were being bad on the bus. And so they looked at the cameras and they pulled me into the office and they were like, we had an issue. And they're like, I was like, did anybody come to the office and complain? They're like, no, but it could have hurt people's feelings and the people around you could have been offended and hurt them.
You got to tell.
And that got me kicked off the bus for a week. So I can't get to school unless I get driven?
You got to talk about the one where you were talking to that chick and they tried to coerce that girl into like getting you expelled.
Oh yeah, no, that's Gwen.
That's
like Gwen. She was like, yeah. So she was. They're like, do you feel like he violated? Like, was he being like this bad? But no, she was like, no, I don't want him to get in trouble. But like, no. But she was like, Nathaniel, like that wasn't nice. Blah blah blah. And afterwards, and I was like, I'm sorry, I was being serious. And I asked her like a day or two later. I was like, I was actually being serious. Are you gay? Like, was that true? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, so it was true, okay? And I got in trouble for something that's true.
Yeah, but
and
they tried to pull her in the office and coerce her.
Yeah, they're trying to get her to pretty much write a statement and get me in trouble. To
make her look like a victim to get you kicked out of school.
I mean, I did get in trouble a lot, but it's for a lot of stuff like that.
Well, no, they were trying to literally tell her, this is what you should say.
Yeah.
So we can take care of that.
I mean, as far as I know, me and her are fine. I mean, like, I'm sure if I saw her in public, I'd go up to her and be like, "What is up?" And she'd be like, "Oh, what's up, Nathaniel?" And she'd be grumpy at first, and 5 seconds later, she'd have a smile on her face. Every chick's the same way. They act mad. They're like, "Oh," and then it's like talk to her for a couple of seconds. They're like, "Ah," and then it's like all giddy. I'm like, "So yeah, what was that big like piffy iffy about me when I first walked up to you?" It's like now you're all happy.
What happened to schools? You know what we used to do in school, man? There'd be fights and brawls right in the middle, right in front of the office.
There's cameras everywhere. You get expelled. You go.
I can only imagine
jail,
how many cameras.
There's school officers. It's like you can't go outside without.
We
getting
did
checked
have
back
cops.
in.
We did have officers, and we did have cameras. I can only imagine how many cameras they have now.
It's crazy. Every hall, multiple cameras in every hall.
We only had cameras by like the stair halls, maybe a couple down the hallways and stuff. But
yeah,
when I went back and visited my school. You were the way it was crazy. It's like right after we graduated, they redid the whole school, the whole front. It looks like a jail, actually.
They look like jails.
Bonnie Eagle. It really what they did. It looked like a correctional facility. The only way you can get in now, you get buzzed in, and you have to go into the office.
That's how it is with my school. Unless somebody opens the doors on the side,
every door is key. You need a key card to get in.
Or unless somebody's inside and actually opens it for you, you have to actually have the key.
But that's on camera.
It is on camera. It's all on camera. But like that's something I did that so many times. I mean, I'm sure people saw what I was doing a lot of times. And went, this kid, my bad. But like I'm sure the tons of times they saw what I was doing. Or like this kid. Like there's one time I dipped out of school, went to my buddy's house, smoked some weed, went back to school freshman or sophomore year. I think it was sophomore year. And went into class, was chilling, talked to my girlfriend. Because the reason I was able to do that because my class was actually in the modular and it was like Mustang time, so I went in for lunch. Mustang time, left, come back for the next class. So
what's Mustang time?
Like it's free period where you can just do whatever work or whatever.
Oh, like a study hall or okay, yeah.
And so yeah, I just was able to leave, go to my buddy's house right down the road. They were all there. They skipped school. I went back into school because my mom would have been mad.
Bro, I used to walk out of school. We used to go down to the store, get food. Vocational, we're supposed to take the bus. I mean, we would take the bus, but your buddy had a car. They made it illegal to drive to Voc because people were screwing up.
When I was a kid, I looked up this high school, like how you talked about high school and how it was like fun, like more freedom, just like have a good time. It was more but I mean nowadays it's so strict. It's like jail. I mean it's just.
Oh, and
everything.
you know what's crazy? Oh, they know you're late. If you show up, you walk through that door, you get buzzed in, they know you're late.
They know you're late.
Dude,
yeah, no, they know.
You could walk. When I went, you could walk in and out any. Dude, I used to skip classes. Yeah, you get mark absent. You know, if you skip too many, yeah, they might call home. But
Yeah.
dude, I used to go skip class, go hang out with my girlfriend. You already know that story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
Yeah.
But I used to do or go outside
Like,
and
that's
rip
what
a
I'm talking about.
butt.
Like, I went into high school. We didn't even, not 1 year did we have lockers, dude. Like,
All right, now I heard about this, and I couldn't believe it. My Layla told me they don't have lockers. You have to pay.
yep, you have to pay a fee to get. There's hundreds of lockers
you
that
kidding me?
nobody uses, and it's like you pay taxes for school, but you have to pay for
Well,
lockers.
Listen to this. I asked her, "Why are you all your bag? Why is all your books in your bag? Just leave some of them at school." I can't. What are you talking about? You can't. You don't put them in your locker. Oh, we don't have lockers. It's like, what do you mean? You're in a high school. Oh, you have to pay. It's like, what? I pay taxes. You mean to tell me now you got to pay to have a locker in a public school?
Honestly, you should go in there and say something to them.
But that makes this whole Wi-Fi thing. It's hilarious. You know, yeah, I don't want to get internet. And like I told you, the school was like, well, you got to get internet because the kids do majority of their work online now. All right, listen, if she has to have internet, fine, you pay for it. No joke. The next day, they sent her home with that hotspot. I was like, all right, finally. But I'm gonna get internet, but I was just trying to prove a point. This whole locker thing, you know what? I should call the school and be like, you need to give her a locker.
You really
She's a
should.
tiny little girl. She's gonna throw her little back out with all these books you guys are making her carry. Well, when she came home one day, she was in track, and told me there was a transgender boy, whatever the hell you want to call it, changing in the girls' locker room. She was extremely uncomfortable with that. I was like, "Excuse me, what'd you say?" She's like, "Yeah, there's a boy, thinks he's a girl, changing it with us." I emailed that school a letter, and all they emailed me back was like, "Oh, we're sorry about this. We'll give her some special accommodations." I was like, "You give that kid special accommodations, not my daughter. She's an actual
said
girl."
that?
I did. They never replied, and she dropped out of track. She didn't want to do it.
I
She's
wouldn't
like,
want to either.
I was gonna pull her out of track anyway. That's stupid.
That is stupid.
Come on, you're a biological boy.
Hey, you dude!
How are we at this point in life?
That father needs to slap that kid's. You know what I'm saying. You know what I said. You need to slap it.
Listen, it starts with the parents. The parents are enabling it. It's their fault.
Hey, Magic 8 Ball. Do you agree that the parents need to slap their booty? All right. What did it say? What did it say? Outlook, not so good.
Because they won't. No, because if you discipline your child, DHS is knocking on your door. It's abuse.
Well, I think that's if you raise your kid to be a little B.
Well, listen to this. All right.
Like, you need to raise your kid.
All
If
right.
you want a good kid,
Listen,
you gotta raise him.
I got a story for you. You know Stu. All that crap he was going, with his ex, right?
Yeah.
When the time came, the court, where he called his son a liar, DHS said that was verbal abuse. But he was lying. This is Brandon's response. He was lying, so I called him a liar. Yeah, but that's verbal abuse. You can't do that. I can't call him out on his lying?
You can't be a parent to your kid?
That's what they told him.
You can't be a parent. You know what?
You can't-
Honestly, it's getting to a point where that person, the person's boss, and them, I don't honestly pull their man schmeat or woman flappers right off their body and slap it on their face because they've lost all their common sense. What has happened to these people?
But at the end of the day, people voted for it. And now they're wondering, oh God, what happened? You voted for it.
I think we need to bring back free country. United.
Oh,
A united republic.
don't worry, Trump's working on that.
Gulf of America.
You don't have to scream into it, bro. You're gonna crackle. That's what that red is.
Gulf of America.
There you go.
Gulf of America.
Oh, they changed it. Look it up on was it Google Earth or whatever, or it's
They actually changed it?
They actually changed it. Somebody posted that. I saw it today. A guy I work with was like, "Oh, and just like that, Gulf of America.
Yeah, baby.
It didn't say it right. It didn't say it right there. Look, maybe you got to zoom in.
Hold up.
I don't know if Google's being scumbags and they don't want to. They're dragging their feet, but he showed something where it was changed.
Hold up.
He's like, I'm going to find it. Oh, Lord. Gulf of America. You know, at the end of in reality, though, like that's one thing
It's not popping up on the maps. Yeah,
it's not.
all
All right, well, I'll have to be like, well, where'd you find that? But in reality, I could care less about that. But dude, Trump's going scorched earth, cleaning house. When he first ran, he ran on with the principle of drain the swamp. When he got in there, clearly he didn't because he had no idea how bad it was. But now that he's in, he knows it's bad. Oh, he's going scorched earth. Democrats are freaking out because all the corruption is being exposed. Now they're going after the Department of Education, auditing it.
They already are.
Cleaning house.
Auditing it. Like, making sure, like, where's the money going?
You see Maxine Waters and all these Democrats trying to get in, and they're blocked from going in. Security stopped them. They couldn't go in, and they're all screaming like, we pay this man's salary. First of all, you don't pay anything. We pay.
Like a house, a man in the house, like a representative.
No, the Maxine, people from Congress.
Were
marched to the Department of Education because Musk's team was in there auditing and going through everything, and they closed it down. They had security out front. Some guy was standing in front of the door, not letting anybody in. Maxine Waters and all these people from
like in the city. Was that the one in the city where all the people?
It was indeed watched. So they all.
Yeah, and they said, "Is this even legal?" They were like, "Is this even legal?" Is that the video?
It is legal. So she's like, "He's not letting us in. We pay his salary, and he's not letting us in." I stopped it right there. I was like, first of all, you don't pay him anything. They right there shows you they all forgot they work for us. They work for us.
The people. We the people.
The people. We paid them.
So those were all people of like the House or whatever?
Yeah, just a bunch of Democrats showed up and protested.
So not even people like in the
No, not act like people like
just liberals. Just liberals.
Just stupid Democrat Congress people.
Democrat.
They're actually out in the streets, dude, calling for violence.
Hey, if you call for violence towards me, hit me first.
You think they would have learned their lesson? The Trump derangement syndrome only
Especially
get worse.
if you're a girl. Don't threaten to hit a dude if you're a girl.
All right, look. This is my thing on that. Equal rights, equal fights. If you come up to me and you come at me like a man, I'm going to treat you like a man.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Cut and dry.
That's how it is.
You come up swinging, I'm swinging back. Defense. I get a kick out of these videos of people, you can't hit her back. She's a girl. She shouldn't have fucking, excuse my language, put her hands on him. Assault is assault. And a human's natural instinct
that
is
guy
reaction.
said in New Hampshire, you're going to have to edit this out, but I don't give a fuck. I'll slap a bitch.
Oh, yeah. No, so, I'm just going to tell that story right now. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So, we're off topic. We'll go to this story and we'll go back. So, we're in Laconia, where your girl is.
Yeah.
Well, ex-girl now.
Well, it's in the air.
It's
She don't want me anymore.
But listen.
What?
They always come back. But
what? She don't want me?
So, listen. We're in Laconia. We're at this venue. Metallica 1 tribute band's playing. Long story short, at the end of the night, this Hells Angels guy comes up and I'm trying to talk to the lead singer. I know these guys. And he bumps me out of the way and he's just like, you, man. I asked you guys to play me a song. You couldn't play the song. You play like 30 seconds of it. You guys. And then here comes Stu walking up, and I just see this shadow fly. I look behind me. His body nails the stage. This guy's like 6 foot something. Stu's like 5'5", 5'6". I don't know. He's 5'7". Pushes them just like a rag doll. And here comes Stu's mom. Dude, she's like 5'0", and she's looking up at this guy like, don't you ever put your hands on my son? You better back up. I'll smack a bitch. I ain't above that. I'll hit you. Like and I grabbed her, and I grabbed Stu and was like, We gone. We leaving.
Yeah.
You got the 1%er guy, this old veteran 1%er by the bar, his arms crossed, just waiting, if he has to jump in. You can tell this guy was patched in, dude. Hard head. Just no F's given. So we're walking back towards the bar. We're leaving. All the bouncers are back there. They're not going to mess with these guys. Hell's Angels. I didn't realize how much territory they own just in New Hampshire. I mean, I know about the Iron Horsemen and all these guys. I didn't realize Hell's Angels were that big in New Hampshire. But so I turn my back for a second. Stu's gone. I grab his mom. I'm like, where the fuck is he? Go outside. I hear pop. Shoots the gun off up in the friggin' air, and I was like, no. I grabbed him. I grabbed the gun. I was like, get in your fucking car, man. Get in the car. I looked right at his mom. I was like, you get your ass in the car too. I threw the gun right on the floor. I was like, by me, because he's drunk. They don't know what he's doing. We speed off, and I was just so focused on getting us the hell out of there. And he's just sitting in the back, dude. He's fucking brain dead. No idea what he just did. That's a Hell's Angels. You don't. Oh, he just thinks he can push people around and mess people up all he wants. I'm like, yeah.
He can, because he can.
They can, and they do. I'm like, play this for example, Stu. Say you went in there, you shot him. First of all, you brought a gun into a bar. You're drunk. Right there, that's felony.
You're going to jail for at least a minimum of 30 years.
Right there, done. Say you did shoot him. Well, now you're going to jail, and these guys have people on the inside. They're going to rape you from every day to Sunday, toss you salad, and then kill you. Oh, well, he shouldn't be allowed to get away with that. I was like, you're not listening to me. Get 10 miles down the road, bro. I quit cigarettes. I stopped at a 7-Eleven. I was like, I need a cigarette.
Yeah.
I told both of them, stay the fuck in the car. I walked right in that store, grabbed a pad. I wanted to make sure I was far enough down the road. I was almost back in Maine. Grabbed some smokes. I'm just fucking, my adrenaline's going. But I think I smoked like 3 cigarettes right in a row.
Really?
I was pissed. I was fuming of the ignorance and stupidity you put in my life on the line at that point. I was drunk too, mind you. I never sobered up so quick in my life. Survival mode.
Yeah,
I was like,
it'll
well,
happen. It'll happen.
I looked at Stu. I was like, dude, you killed my buzz. You killed everything. I was like, he pushed you. We're leaving. The show was over. We should just go. No. And after that day, I was like, yeah, probably shouldn't be doing much more with him. Sorry, Stu, but you're a little nuts.
Not so much anymore.
No, I'm too old for that shit.
Yeah. Forget that. I'm hungry too. I want to get some food. I don't know what there is for food, but something.
What we got here? 20. Let's go to a half hour.
Let's do it, dude. Let's do it.
Let's go to a half hour. We'll call it good.
What
All right,
time
so
is
what
it?
do you want?
7 o'clock already?
You want to digress? Go back to something else, or?
I mean, we could talk about. Jeez, anything.
Oh, you tell me a crazy story.
Crazy story. I don't have crazy stories.
Shut up.
I have good stories.
All right, tell me a good story. That's story time. I like story time.
Trying to think.
Dig deep into the filing cabinet in your back. I know you got one stored in that head of yours.
Did I tell you about the time I got pulled over in New Hampshire on the trailer? With the trailer?
No. Oh, what's that one?
I had me and my cousin. Kimmy was in the back. We were driving to New Hampshire. And everybody knows New Hampshire, weed's illegal, right? So in New Hampshire, I was bringing my cousin Jacob. And after work, got there, picked up we were going there to pick up his vehicle. We were like, hour and a half drive.
You look here, not there. Look here. Because when you look there,
hour and like 45 hour, something like that. We're driving, and we're like 5 minutes away, and there's these 2 stadies. I've been smoking the ganja at this point, high as a tree, and
high as a kite.
And yep, so they both pulled out, both pulled me over, both turned the lights on. They're like, comes up talking to me, I'm like, Jacob's military, so like thankfully you could talk about that.
Oh, he was with you?
Yeah,
okay.
He was with me. And he's like, yeah, so the reason I pulled you over was because your lights were out on your trailer. I was like, oh really? I knew, but like I just acted like I didn't know. I was like, really? And I was like, he's like, yeah. He's like, you want to come out and check? I was like, yeah. Like I said it quicker than that, but I was like, in my mind, I was like, come out to check. So I'm exiting my vehicle. At this point, does that mean I'm giving up to my rights for him checking me for sobriety? I don't know. But so I stepped out. I'm like, oh yes, of course, officer. I want to check this out. What's going on here? So I'm looking at it. All right, they're not on. I act like I'm surprised. Like, oh what? Oh, they should be on. Like they were working. I turn my blinker. I turn my flashers on. They're blinking. He's like, yeah, they're still on when you're running. Whatever. I check the connection. I unplug it. I go to plug it back in. Whatever. And then he's like, I go back to my truck. He's like, comes back, gives me my license. He's like, yeah, you're good to go. Just pick up the truck and drive home safe. And so we drive there, load up the truck. We're loading up the truck, get on the trailer, get all strapped up, going to get headed out. I'm like, I never plugged the trailer back in. Never got plugged back in until I got back to the location. And I was like, he must have thought I was a drunk. I was like, what do you think the cops thought about that, Jacob? He was like, oh, he probably thought we were just drunk.
When it comes to cops, I mean, I got pulled over going to work because, let's see, it's 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. I get it. It's a Saturday morning. I wasn't even speeding, though.
Yeah.
I go through this light. I see this car get right up on my ass. I'm like, what the hell, dude? Yeah, that's right. Get right up on my ass, right? The headlights go out for a second, and they come back on. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And then all of a sudden, the blues come on. I'm like, oh, it's a cop. I pull over. Comes walking up. Where are you heading? I was like, I'm on my way to work. Oh, at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, well, license, registration. I was like, yeah, sure. And he's like, you know why I pulled you over? And I was like, I really have no idea. I wasn't speeding. I even stopped at that light. I have no idea. He's like, oh, I pulled you over because your license plate light is out.
Did you check if it was?
I looked right at it, looked up at him. I was like, that's why you pulled me over? I was like, I've been driving for like, I don't know, ever. I've never been pulled over for that. Well, it's out, so I'll be right back. All that was probable cause. He was probably hoping I was driving home drunk. It's Saturday morning. It's 2 o'clock. This guy, he's like, yeah, it's just a young dude. Like, I'm gonna bust this guy. He's driving drunk. I know he's drunk. No, it's on my way to work, dude. Had my badge on, everything. He 10 seconds in the car and came back. Oh, you can go. I don't even think he ran my information.
No, just to make it seem like he did.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But that's like the only time really that I've run into an issue. I mean, there's been times I should have been thrown in jail for high speed. I got pulled over.
I know it's like the little stuff they're like
The
always giving you a
little
hard
things.
time about.
I'm coming down. The Stadies have been hanging around here hard
They have
lately,
been.
and I found out because Limerick and Waterboro, they don't really hire York County anymore,
they don't.
so they sent more Stadies because people were complaining, you're not issuing enough tickets. So now there's Stadies everywhere. So they sit
People
down.
were complaining about that?
I don't know if the towns were complaining or it definitely money was involved because the whole idea is, oh, they're not issuing enough tickets. It's whatever.
Need more money from the state
So
for this town.
I'm
or
coming
whatever.
down 117, and I was doing 50. I didn't slow down to that 35 enough. I knew he saw me. I did. I slowed right down to 35. He followed me to the intersection where that gas station is right there. As soon as I got through it, he turned his blues on. I just pulled right over. I knew he was going to pull me over. He was cool about it. He's just like, hey, you know why I pulled you over? And I was like, I'm not going to play stupid with you. You clearly saw that I was speeding. I was like, but I did slow down.
Yeah.
I did. I was like, I did slow down. He laughed. He's like, yeah, you did. But I got you before you did. And I was like, I know you did. That's why I just was going to pull right over regardless. I was waiting for you to turn your blues on.
Yeah.
So he laughed, took my information. He came back and he's like, look, just take it easy. He's like, all right. He's like,
Yeah, they be driving fast as hell.
I know.
though.
That's how
They be driving 140 down these roads.
I've seen cops. They turn their blues on. Cars pull over. They pass them, then shut their blues off. I was
I've
like,
watched
oh,
it too
you
before.
mother.
Or
Oh.
they just, or they have their. I've watched it. I've been driving down the highway, going to pick whatever it is up, and I'm going down the highway. He has his flashers on, going fast, like 100 something. I don't know, pretty quick. He's going down, and then he's just going past me. It turns him off, and he's just driving.
They could just go back to driving normal. Did
Yep.
that just to pass the cars. Scumbags. I love it. You be going down the highway too. They fly right by you doing 90. They don't even have their blues on it, but no,
Just because they can.
it's because they can.
Just because they can.
But other than that, I mean, I got pulled over by the York County. If this is what they're talking about, then they can kiss my ass. What was it, 9 violations in less than 30 seconds? Like, he should have had me in handcuffs that day.
Yeah.
Let's see. I pull out of here. Well, let's see. I see him parked down by the dam. He puts his finger out at me, and he turns his blues on, and I was like, nope. Sped off. The damn bike started to break down on me. Whoa. I was like, what the hell's going on? I pulled the clutch in it. I thought it was the throttle because I just got the bike back together. No. I come around.
Just got it back together.
Just got it back together because I was looking at wires, make sure there's no shorts. I thought I was having battery drain problems. It was just come to find I was just battery and rectifier. I mean the charging station. I had to get a new coil. So anyway, I get around the turn. I just pull over. Here he comes right up behind me. Makes me throw my key on the ground. He grabs my license, everything. I call my dad. I was like, here's the number to my debit card. Might have to bail me out. I called Layla's mom. I was like, I'm probably going to jail. I'm not going to be able to get her off the bus. And she's like, what did you do? And I was like, oh, if you only knew. He comes back, and he's just like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I can get you for so much right now. He's like, this isn't registered. It's not stickered. It's not insured. I can get you for an SR22. You don't have a motorcycle license, criminal speeding, evading, reckless. Like, he just was going on. And then he's like, how long have you been living at this address? And I was like, I moved there last year, so maybe not even a year. And he's just like, and I could get you for not having your address changed within 30 days. I had no idea about that. After all that shit he said to me, I looked at him. I was like, I didn't know about that. I did. I pointed at my license. I was like, that I didn't know. He's just like, well, this is what we're going to do. You're going to push this bike home, and I'm going to write you a court summons for not having a motorcycle license. I'm going to overlook everything you just did. Go get your license. Officer Fay? I think it was Fay. You said you knew. Did he work at the school? Your school, Fay? I have the paperwork still. Fraser, Fay. I think it was F-A-Y, Fay. I don't know. He looked like a young dude. He looked right at me. He's like, look, I get it. Well, the crazy thing is it was a 60-degree day in, like, February. Yeah, here we are with 20 feet of snow now. But he's like, I get it. It's a nice day out. You want to take the bike? When I get off shift, I'm going to take the Harley out real quick. So he was a motorcycle rider. I was like, all right. Mm-hmm. That's probably what helped me out. So yeah. I start pushing this bike back, and he rolls up to me. He's just like, all right, I got to go. I've got another call. Just do your thing. Just push this bike back. All right, see you later. As soon as he was gone, I started that fucking bike up, and I just coasted it in first gear. I was like, I ain't pushing that bike. I had to push up a hill. You kidding me? Nah. I get it home. Come to find out, the kickstand sensor was malfunctioning. The computer was thinking that it was giving a false reading, thinking the kickstand was down. I was jiggling the wires because the kickstand wasn't down, and I started it up. And when I put it in gear, it would shut right off. And I'm like, that's a kickstand. I looked down, this kickstand was up. And I jiggled the wires in it. I fired it back up, put it in gear with the neutral, and it was fine. I was like, oh, that little $10 part crippled my bike. But it was a blessing in disguise. I finally went and got my license. I was riding dirty for 12, 13 years.
Did you ever pull over?
No.
How many times did you talk to cops on your bike before that?
I've been pulled over back in the day, but I had a permit. So I had something. Dude, I never went and got my license and never renewed the permit. And I just, rode for like years. I never stopped after that. Only reason why I got busted because the bike was like, F you, man, I ain't doing it. Mm-hmm. You're going to eat this. But like I said, blessing in disguise. So I went to court. This is the best part. I was like, damn it. I'm going to jail. I don't know what I'm facing. Court date comes in July. I get there. I'm waiting. And I see all these freaking trashy people, bro. I was like 100-something people in this room. I'm watching these guys walk up to the podium, hearing the judge read off some things, some charges like, got you for 9 times driving under suspension. I'm like, 9 times? Nope. Driving under suspension? And the judge is still trying to help these people out. I looked down. I was like, oh, I'm good. You got people in there with domestic disputes and shit. Like, freaking, there was a dude in there with like 5 OUIs. How is that possible? How is he not in jail?
How are you drinking and driving that much?
5 times?
How are you getting caught that much? How bad of a drunk are you?
But the crazy part is the judge is trying to help them, telling them what to say or whatever. And I'm like, this is nothing. I got out of that whole day. When I got up to the podium, the lawyer of the day looked right at me. She put her hand on the mic and she was like, hey, if you go and get your license, we'll expunge this off your record after a year. You'll be good. And I was like, I already did. Here's all the paperwork. I wanted to show you guys that. She's like, oh, say not guilty. And I said, not guilty. I went out in the lobby. She comes right out there, looks right at me. She's like, $50 and you can go home. That's just court fees. I was like, deal. $50.
Yeah.
That I got so lucky. I woke up, dude. That's when I was like, I can't. I got a house now.
You got stuff to actually lose now. It's like
I was like, I got
if you
the
get
house.
caught, you can or die. It's like you actually have a daughter.
Well,
a
I got
house,
and I
and
had my
everything.
daughter pretty much full time, and I was like, all right, that's right there is when I stopped, and I told you in the last video, I was like, I fell off the grid for like 8 years. I've been in this house now for over 8 years, but now, like I said, she's a teenager. She don't need me anymore. I'll have fun now. Back to having fun,
Yeah, you will.
but I can still lose stuff, so I got to be careful at the same time.
Yeah. You can't still lose stuff, that's for sure.
All right, so call it good.
Sure.
All right, well, I guess we'll fade this bitch out.
Talk to you guys later.
See you guys.